It's in. It's in. Recording to computer. Hello again.
Bonjour.
Radio entrance. I don't know. Um, yeah, we were just chatting absolute wafflers, usual. Fucking hell, easy for me to say.
Well,
Um, and then yeah, just roll on with it. Roll on with it. Um, so going to be a little bit of a controversial one for some people, I imagine. But we were just talking about do's and don'ts of clients, really. Um, and figured it's something that we might as well talk about.
yeah, I think so.
So we'll we'll
Especially,
we'll see where that goes and how many people we offend. And if you
especially,
see that none of us are coaches next week,
especially this time of
If
year.
you get offended by it, then you need to look at yourself type thing.
Yeah, big time. Especially this time of year, and we're saying this time of year is like a hard time for a lot of people. I don't think really any of us can resonate with that. I think we just kind of crack on regardless. But I think for a lot of people, like as soon as it gets fucking dark, who the fuck is that? Well, be 2 minutes, some fuckers at the door.
I was like, he's late, and then I can't do this one, guys. Someone's at the door.
We're we were saying that if we can listen.
What if a domestic kicks off? What if he's being robbed? Live on the podcast, Tyler gets in a fight and gets robbed.
Boys, please help! We both just leave.
Yeah. Recording ended.
Yeah. So
no evidence. Yeah, just a quick message to the group chat. So you're not coming along this week, Taylor? Just all acknowledgement of existence disappeared. No, this never happened.
Yeah.
Oh. One of my new neighbors brought me some fucking baby, a little bit of the bubbly.
Should we just do this podcast drunk? Should we all just get on one?
M&S, Prosecco, that'll be going in the cabinet of things I don't drink.
things to be re-gifted. 101.
I now have 2 bottles of champagne, two bottles of Prosecco, 3 bottles of gin, 1 bottle of vodka. I'm never going to touch it.
How many neighbours you got?
We're pretty much in like a converted steading. So like directly we have 2, but like a part of the complex there's like maybe 12.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5 in this little block here, and there's like 2 or like 4, I think, on the other side. So like 9, 10, I think actually. But yeah. Anyway, that's nice of her. Anyway, before bitch really interrupted us.
Yeah. Now it's confirmed that you're not being robbed. We can move on to the real topic of conversation.
Guys would have fucking sorted them out, man. Like them balls.
But yeah, this time of the year, you were saying.
Yeah, this time of year's a right cunt, man. People like lose their marbles. All of a sudden, like the goals get put on hold, and I just don't. I don't understand it because like even when I started doing it, I've just never known any different. But I'm not wired any differently to anyone else. Like it's not like you can just pick and choose where you want to apply yourself. It's not like at uni. It's not like at work. I'm going to apply myself throughout the summer, and then I'm just going to wait. I'm going to hang fire. Like it doesn't work like that. Nothing should get on hold. Like I don't understand why there's a loss of motivation because it's dark. It's like, bro, your gym has heating, your car has heating, the roads are clear. Fair enough if you're fucking snowed in, which rarely happens, but it's like there's still shit to do. There's still shit to be done, and like the petty fucking excuses, oh bro, this and that. It's like I am personally getting quite tired of it because like a lot of the people that I work with are fucking grafters, and then I have some people that will just come and expect the world to be given to them, and I'm like, it doesn't fucking work like that. I'm sorry. Like it doesn't. I've got people that run multiple businesses that have to get up at 5 a.m. to do their fucking work, that'll do additional cardio afterwards, that have families, and then I've got people that have genuinely, have so much time in the world and are still making up excuses. They're not sacrificing a thing. They think X, Y, and Z is gonna happen. It does like miff me off, and like I'm very black and white as a coach. I'm also very respectful. But, when push comes to shove, like, I'm not going to work with someone if every week I need to check in and chase them up for check-ins, chase them up for adherence. I'm like, dude, we're all 25, 26, 27. Most of our clientele are going to be between the age of, let's say, 20 to 30. We might have some outliers, but the bulk of them are responsible adults. You wouldn't get your mum to wipe your arse at this age. So why the fuck am I having to remind you to do basic shit?
Yeah. One of my biggest pet peeves is like just lack of communication.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we know that sometimes life does happen, right? But just don't leave that until your coach brings it up to say like, oh, what happened on XYZ? What happened then? And you go, oh yeah, I had blah blah blah. Like, it's really easy to drop someone on WhatsApp, drop your coach a WhatsApp, keep them in the loop with what you are doing, what you haven't been able to do, because then it's like you're kind of playing catch up from afterwards. Do you know what I mean? And it is an annoyance, even down to like, had one the other day, and the best thing about Loom is that you can see when people watch their check-ins.
Oh my God.
Wait, hold on, subject. Do you know what pisses me off so much? And it's petty as fuck, is when people receive my check-in and they don't say thank you. Fuck me, man. Oh, mate, it pisses me the fuck off. It takes you 2 seconds to say, cheers, boss, thumbs up, give me a bit of feedback. That's all I'm asking for. Don't just...
I always think that. You hit the nail on the head there. And I always think, like, I have never not replied to a check-in or acknowledged it or said, like, even cheers, mate, back on.
I've done it once out of my whole coaching career, and I apologise last time I was
accidental.
Yeah, and that's been 4 years.
Yeah.
So,
but I have a couple of people that do it, and I call them out for it. Every week they still check in, and do you know what? The people that do it, if they're fucking on it, I'll name them. Okay, yeah. Always Sam. Okay, he's fucking on it, and then Johnny. The two of them, useless. But the quality that the feedback they provide is second to none. So I don't know what. So long as they're checking in, so long as they're progressing, I'm not going to say shit. Again, it's the outliers. Like for me, it's a game of give and take. If you give me, your 100%, I'll give you 120.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the reason I got so excited when you brought up the mention of you can notice when someone's watched your video is because I had a guy last week, and it just made it boiled my blood, but at the same time it just made me so happy out of pettiness, because I did his check-in and he was like, he did the normal thing. He was like, yeah, thanks, all good. I'll get on it. I'll watch the video. And sort of, it was just my busier check-in day. So I didn't notice that the notification hasn't popped up. So I didn't think anything of it. And then the week went by and it got to Thursday. And he checked in on the Saturday, but on the Thursday, I got a notification saying he's just watched his check-in, and I was like, okay, so you're literally watching it like 5 days late. and like the thing that made me so fucking happy and pettily joyful,
it's not actually funny, I'm laughing, but
no, it's like,
it fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, like imagine that it just like, it blew my mind, because he's normally shit hot, but for some reason he just completely lied and was just like, yeah, all good, I'll have a look, and then watch it like 5 days later.
Yeah.
But then when he checked in, you could see, because all of his measurements and feedback up till Thursday were just a mirror of the previous weeks, because nothing had changed on the plan. So there was no progression, there was no nothing. Everything was identical to the week before. And then the 2 or 3 days after, suddenly he dropped like X amount of pounds, X amount of kilo, whatever, and all his feedback changed. And I called him out on it and was just like, oh, by the way, so how come like nothing moved? Like, did you have enough planned meal or something, or you just not telling me, or something like that, blah blah. And he was like, no, everything was dead on, everything was spot on, it was just a really weird week. And I just said to him, I was
really
like,
weird, I just didn't implement any feedback.
So I literally said, mate, cut the shit, like, I've got the notification, I know you didn't get your check-in until fucking Thursday. And he was like, oh yeah, it's just been a really busy week, Mate, I'd love to call him out.
One thing just on that that like watching your feedback from your coach, I guarantee you used to the exact same. Like I still do, like get fucking excited to watch my feedback. I'm like, yeah, sweet. Let me know what I've got to do. How am I doing? Like, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I've asked for. That's what I'm getting. And I think it speaks volumes with like where you are at as a client, as a person, with regards to how important your goals and your progression is to you, on how quick and how attentive you are to that feedback.
Yeah.
Even if there is no amendments being made, even like just as you said, Tay, like a bit of acknowledgement shows me that it's like, yeah, that this is important to them.
I guarantee you that the people that like don't reply or don't acknowledge it are the same people that like just don't let people, like don't let, like it's an inconvenience for them to get out of the way of other people.
Oh, they're the ones still doing like 5 sets on a fucking pec deck, and do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. 12 sets on biceps. Yeah, 100%.
So speaking of this set thing, do you guys get annoyed when a client it goes along this lines? It's like,
oh, the set, yeah, it's not enough for me, mate.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's enough volume. Yeah. And I'll look at the workout and it'll be like, okay, you're doing 25 sets on like fucking legs.
I'd look at
like, yeah, okay, so that's getting to the point now where it's fucking high. I'm like, I do 8 sets on legs. And they're like, yeah, but I'm just used to a lot of volume. And I'm like, but there's a lot of volume, and then there's just, you're not pushing hard enough on your set.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'm going to failure. I'm going to failure.
That's when that's instances like that. I'll fucking demand it from people anyway. But
yeah,
man, and it's for that. That's for the exact reason. It's like, what? Damn right. You feel like you could do another 4 sets because you've not even done the output of half a set, you dickhead.
Mate, literally, it's happened a couple of times where I've just been like, okay, just film your set. And this will blow your mind, okay? You two will just lose your shit over this, okay? There was one occasion where I said to someone, I said, film your set and send it to me. And they said, why? And I said, because I want to see your set and I want to see your form and I want to check that you're actually taking the failure. And they said, oh, you're just telling me to record it so you can laugh at me.
What?
And I said, well, why would I laugh at it? And if I did laugh at it, surely that says something that you know that you're not taking that set seriously. I was like, if your assumption is that someone's going to laugh at your set, you're either very nervous in a beginner, in which that case you need to understand that a coach will never laugh or take the piss out of your set.
Well, that's not true. I have definitely taken the piss out of some of my clients' sets before.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was like someone who just walked into the gym, yeah, like if someone just walked into the gym, it was their first week, you're not going to be like, oh, you don't know.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, but this guy was like experienced. He'd been going for decades, and he was like, oh, you just want to laugh at my set, and I'm like, well, surely that says that you think your own set's laughable. Like if that's your assumption that if someone watches your set, they're going to laugh at it. Surely that means there's a trigger in your head somewhere, make something wrong.
Yeah.
But I had to reassure them. I was like, look, I'm not trying to do this to take the piss or like anything. I'm trying to help you progress and make sure things are going correctly.
You need to say like you're paying for a fucking service. Like I need to ensure that you're doing shit by the by.
But the funny thing is, like, if I ask any of my girl clients, can I see like one of your sets? I'd get it that day, that minute. If I ask one of my guys, I'll guarantee I'll get 1 set on the following week's workout.
If I had like a ratio of like how many from like serious females to like, you know, serious males, at least in terms of like commitment and promptness and, you know, like timeliness, girls are like amazing. I love coaching females because they're so much more open. They're so much more honest. They don't, you know, they can work out for a lot harder, longer, I find. Whereas guys are like, I'm looking flat, and I'm like, bro, you don't even have a muscle to be flat. You know? Like,
just talking about that male female. My most insecure clients are male.
100%.
Yeah. And even into like how they take their check-in pictures, you can spot it a mile off. Do you know what I mean?
how many of your guys check in like half dressed?
No.
No, I have one female does in like a sports bra and like
Shorts or something like that.
shorts, yeah. But men, like, if a man says to me I'm doing it in shorts, I'll literally tell him to take your shorts off.
Now, I swear down, okay, and it drives me nuts. 60% of my guys check in tracky bottoms, and I constantly have to remind them. I'm like,
Really?
yeah, what are you doing? And that's assuming that the other, well, that's also saying that the other 40% probably don't even send me pictures.
I'd be like, get your fucking banger right, man. I want to see that shit.
Yeah.
I have to remind people all the time. I'm like, and where's the fucking pictures?
Then it is frustrating, isn't it? Like, mad.
What I say to people is, I say, look, what you've got to understand is, from a coaching perspective, it's like if you give the bare minimum on a check-in, it's like you dropping your car off at a garage, giving them your keys, and then just walking out. And then literally you wouldn't do it, would you? You'd take it to the garage and be like, okay, this has been happening or that's been happening. What would be the solution to this? Can you have a look at this or whatever? And people expect that they can go to a coach and go, I weigh 93 kilos.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah, it's like, okay, mate, as far as I'm concerned, you haven't had a shit for 7 days. You haven't followed the plan. You haven't trained all week. I was like, you could have lost a limb. You could have had your arm cut off, and I wouldn't know. Like, you've not said anything, and that's the thing that it's like, it just blows my mind, because it's like a week. It always happens in like the first week, and then after that, like, most people tend to be all right. But
one thing that you notice massively is that a hell of a lot of people like talk a fantastic game.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm gonna smash it. I'm gonna smash it. And you hear it 100 times over. And I had it today actually on a check-in this morning, and I said that, listen, we're talking. You're saying everything I want to hear, but I'm not seeing any of that come to fruition. I said, anyone, if you decide to work with in the future or you don't, either way, like, a coach will always say to you, like, yeah, that's fantastic. Like, everyone can say that they're gonna do or they will do, but until you actually show me that, yeah, I've done 1, 2, 3, X, Y, Z, it's then, yeah, happy days, we're moving.
And not just for 1 week.
Yeah. It's kind of like, yeah, it's exactly what you said. Like, 7 days. Oh, fucking hell, yeah, that was hard. Now,
where's my refeed?
yeah. But, yeah. What else? I feel like this has turned into client bugbears.
But no, I think it's really good though, because I think we'll need to see from our point of view, because we've definitely communicated that, and it's definitely not just, for us to be the best coach we can be, we don't need a lot from you. We just need you to do the bare minimum, and that is do your food, do your steps, do your output, or do your output, whatever that may be. Eat your food, nothing more, nothing less. Train hard, do the minimum thing on the exercise. Like, body, this is why I get on so well bodybuilders. I'm fucking lazy. Okay, I am. Taylor, do the bare minimum. What is bare minimum, Taylor? Well, I need you to, I need to eat just the food. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I need to do your steps. Nothing more, nothing less. I need to train hard. 2 sets. Fine, I'll fucking kill myself for 2 sets. Sleep, be lazy. Yes, I will get my fucking hours sleep a night. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I am so lazy.
Yeah.
That, at least this is kind of how I see it. Is like, I just need to do that. I don't need to do anything else, because the expectations are already set. And my coach should know me well enough to set that standard at a certain level that is high. Okay. And it's easy. I just do that. And then
I used to have the fault, like, the fault all the time of like, am I asking too much? Am I asking these people to do too much? And it's not until you sit back and go, I was doing this shit before I even knew how to train. Like, you don't need experience to be able to keep yourself accountable. What experience do you need for that? I'm pretty sure that every client we have goes to work every day, or goes to work 5 times a day. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't forget to, like, put their fucking clothes on or brush their teeth. You're literally asking them to, like Tay said, the bare minimum. It is the bare minimum.
I think a big thing of this though is I think people just have this massive misconception with anything to do with fitness that it's trying to be difficult or hard or it's going to be testing.
Yeah.
And it's like the literal job of a coach is to make a plan which is as easy for you to follow whilst achieving the greatest amount. Yes, at some point there will be something in there that you don't want to do or you don't want to follow. And yes, there'll be points where you're very uncomfortable with things. But in the vast majority of cases, especially in lifestyle clients, the plan is literally just like eat slightly less than normal, do your steps and train. And that's it. But for some reason, as soon as a coach tells you to do it, it's like this thing shutters on of, oh, it's going to be so hard that I have to get 8,000 steps in and do 50 minutes cardio.
Sometimes people have like a chip on the shoulder because, oh, you don't do this. I'm like, motherfucker, I built my life. I worked hard to be where I am.
Yeah.
Like, it took me a long time to get here. Working with people for free and coaching people for free. Like, it took me a fucking long time to get here. And don't ever say, oh, it's okay for you, you're lucky, because I've had to fucking work my arse off to get to where I am. I had 2 jobs. I went to uni. I still checked in with my coach. I still did X, Y, and Z. Joanna, fucking bless her, man, when she was on prep, she was in the gym at 5 a.m. doing her cardio, then a full day of clients with her in a dental practice, and she'd go and train afterwards. It's like, come on, man. It's like,
that's why it's very much like I find it difficult because, as you said, right, we're no exception to the rule. Yeah, we're not like some elite that can do these amazing things. So when we have clients that don't do or really, really struggle to do, so choose not to do, it's kind of like my thought process is you've chosen to not do that.
Yeah, it's true.
Why is your mindset so weak, so inept that you're unable to? You know what? Yeah, it's going to be maybe uncomfortable because I'm trying to settle into a new routine, new structure, so on and so forth. But why are you so weak-willed that you can't push yourself a little bit more? And I think if that's how you are with regards to your fucking health and your nutrition and training, whatever it may be, well, that speaks fucking volumes for what the rest of your life is going to be.
Yeah,
it's be like.
And I always tell people, I kind of like think of it as like graded exposure. Like we've all had the capacity, but I guarantee there's a point in our life where we're nowhere near as consistent as what we were just now.
Nah.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, and it's a case of repeat. Normal, yes, okay. Let's push a little bit more. Let's do this. Still uncomfortable, but then before you know it, mate, it's like I said, it's even with training intensity. Like I say, training intensity is like graded exposure. The logbook doesn't lie. If you push yourself to that point this week, you tick that box. The week after, you go again. It's like it's just that tolerance, and your tolerance is going to get better and better and better. Like if, for example, think of when you guys are starting off doing like a set on the leg extension, the first time in the block, your legs are fucking mauled, annihilated, pumped up. I guarantee that by that 3rd, 4th, 5th rotation, the build-up of lactate's not as severe. You can dig a little bit deeper, right? It's just that acclimatization. So it's the same applies to everything in life. Uncomfortable, acclimatize. Don't like it.
Get comfortable, be uncomfortable. Yeah, 100%. I actually I put a post up a few weeks ago when I went from like when I started to what I look like recently.
That's a good post.
And what I said on there, exactly what you just said. And I said something along the lines of like, one of my biggest pet peeves as well, my biggest annoyance is when people go like, as you said, oh, it's easy for you. I don't know how you do it. And my answer is like because I want to do it. Us three, we have goals, so we want to be here or there. So we're going to do what we need to do to get there. I wasn't born or just wired to, eat my 6 meals a day, remember to train fucking hard, do my work, but I wanted to do it.
Yeah. I guarantee you that if anyone looks at any of us 5-6 years ago, they will be like, what?
Oh, mate, yeah.
Like 19, 18, even 15.
Yeah.
They'll look at us, and they'll be like, what the fuck? And it's like, a lot of people, I think because of the age of social media, because there's more and more people getting used to it, and some people are just genetic phenoms that can make outstanding progress incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
But for 99% of populations, that's not true. But when the industry's so saturated in these transformations and things, people latch on and they think, well, why can't I do this? But they forget to analyze the minutiae. And they also totally forget to understand that it's that application that they can't seem to grasp. I have this conversation with clients all the time. It's like the application is fundamental. How you conduct yourself is fundamental, particularly in a fat loss phase when people are half-arsing their diets. I'm like, motherfucker, you can go and burn 500-600 calories. And whoever says that training is not a source of fat burning, I'm like, you fuckers don't understand. It's just stupid, mate.
Just go and train with someone who's actually training intensely for one session and then tell me that you're not fat.
Yeah, I had a conversation with one of the boys that I know. He's lovely, mate. I've got so much time for him. He's just a lovely guy. But he was at the final stage of the prep, and he was like, I'm just trying to preserve the muscle right now. And I was like, but it's like training's not really doing anything just to preserve the muscle. And I was like, but no, it's not the case. It's like, how much cardio doing? He's like 30 minutes. Okay, so let's say you're burning, 250 to 300 calories. How many fucking calories are you burning in a leg session, bro? He's like, I don't know. I used to average at about, 1,000. I can go into a leg session and burn 1,000 calories. Okay. According to my Garmin,
give or take whatever, yeah.
Let's just say it is. Okay. I'm like, motherfucker, that's worth one gym session is worth 3 fucking times. Okay. People will ask me, like, Taylor, towards the end of my prep, how did you not do any cardio? Because I was still training like a fucking maniac towards the latter end. I did not slow down, nor should you ever. One quality session is worth 2-3 good cardio or average cardio sessions.
I think that's one thing that
it's the application. People go in, same setup, 1,000 calories versus 500 calories.
Yeah,
I think it's slightly different topic, but I think that, like you said, was a massive reason why I was so happy to pull the plug on prep finishing, because training was at a point where it was like 2-3 reps in reserve, and it was for recovery purposes. But I was just thinking to myself, like, it's just so shit. Like, I think that speaks volumes for the sense of, like, if you're a client, you should want to be training to that intensity that you spoke about. Yeah. And just in general, if you love this shit, that's the intensity you want. And if someone pulls that away from you, like, imagine if someone turned around to you in your bodybuilding career and said, the only way, the best way for you to progress in this next off season or in prep is to do your entire off season and prep with 3 reps in reserve.
Dude,
how boring would that be?
You'd fucking quit.
Dude, see the program that Dan sent me?
Yeah.
One of the kind of potentiators pre-leg press is 2 sets of 15 to 20 leg extensions with 3 reps in reserve. And I literally messaged him today saying, bro, take that out and just give me 1 set.
It's gone.
I was like, physically.
Hold up.
The thing is, see what you're doing. No. The thing is, see when you're doing a set of 15 to 20 with 3 reps in reserve, the lactate hits from rep 8. Your legs are gonna fucking explode from rep 8. There is no fucking way you can judge 3 reps in reserve because it's numb. It is
mate, past
pit of hell. And I said, look,
I thought Dan didn't like reps in reserve type.
Oh, he's giving me
right, fair play.
Yeah. But yeah, I said that today. I was like, dude, take that the fuck out, give me 1 set, I'll fucking send it, and then that's it.
Mate, past 15 reps, what's the fucking point of reps in reserve?
Honestly,
what's the fucking point?
It's so painful, and you know how it is, you can grind them out, okay, after a certain point. But I said, I was like, this is too painful. Like, I can't gauge that.
Yeah,
I need to hit that wall.
Yeah,
I was like 2. I think I got to about 2. I think I kind of called it about 2 to 3, but I've not done. I only know 1 gear, and that's fucking go.
Yeah.
Well, but do you guys, when you give clients deloads or just yourself in general, do you prefer longer deloads with reps in reserve, or do you just have shorter deloads but completely away from the gym?
I have never, and I can't buy into reps in reserve personally.
No. I literally tell a client, I'm like, you can either come out of the gym for the week, or you can just literally do a week with like 5 reps in reserve. And I don't even specify the number. I'm literally like, go in, look at a weight, move it so you have the social atmosphere of being in the gym, but then get out. Like, don't actually bother. But
it's, I think we spoke about this before, but it's unless you're talking like fine margins of fine margins. That sounds so cringy when I say that, but like us, for example, who train with a degree of intensity.
To actual.
Yeah,
let's just call that out.
yeah. As Tay said, I think it was a podcast or two ago. He said like they don't actually know what failure really is already. They're still, as he said, it's a case of like exposure to that to learn it.
Yeah.
Whilst they're still learning it, if they don't know what failure is, we're going to tell them to not go to failure if they don't know where that mark is. So, yeah, it's horses for courses, but it's probably more applicable to the likes of us than it is.
I have like different. For me, it's like very user specific. Like I'll have some boys that I know train really hard, and I'll give them some devolume sessions, just single sets, 12 to 15. Usually I do like two days rest prior to jumping into that. It depends on the person because I need to work out what it is they're looking to get out of it. Like for example, I'll use my client Ross. He's like an engineer. Is he an engineer? He's like I don't know if he does something engineering, but he also has like a laborious job, like for a bit of side money. He'll do like landscaping. And he is one of the clients. If I say go, he'll just go. Yeah. So for him, he's the only case, but I just have him doing 5 days total rest. Yeah. Because if he's not running to ground from this source, he's running to ground from the work. You know, so it's totally different. I might have some people, you know, just do single sets. If it's like more of a gem pop client, I'll just order them like 3 days rest and then one set of everything for like 2 sessions. That they don't need more than that.
I also play it kind of like phase specific as well. Kind of.
Yeah, I think so. But again, though, it depends on the client.
Yeah, massively. Yeah,
you know, like whether or not they can take it there or not. Definitely, if it is a fat loss phase, I'd be more encouraging for them to still go in as opposed to just immediate rest.
Yeah,
even if it is just one set, I'd much rather they did that because it's just that unless they need that rest, unless information is clearly present, they need that pullback, then.
Yeah.
Yes, but otherwise, I will still get them to just run devolume, maybe one rest day or two, an extra rest day rather.
To be fair, all I've really started doing now, when it comes to specifically clients in a diet phase and needing a deload, is still just sending them in the gym, like you said, just with reps in reserve, but then just put them on a diet break in food, and that's more than enough for recovery. And that's been working fine for my guys. Is just upping their food by like 50, 75 carbs, and then just run that for a week on a devolume session, and that's more than enough.
I've actually just done that with my client, something like that to my client Jazz. She's coming to like the end of her like little recomp kind of like sharpen up phase, and I pretty much did actually something like that. I was like, look, we got 2 options here. I was like, either put you down for another week or we start reversing just now.
Yeah.
I like the idea of what that would do from like a psychological standpoint as well. So someone in not trained to failure, but with more food in them as well, so they feel like, oh my god, like I could easily piss this set.
But
you know what I mean? 2 sets.
Right. So what's the next thing? What else pisses you off?
Next pet peeve.
We'll discuss application. Some people like half-arsed and sandbagging it. We've discussed.
I wanted to say, I got one. What would and I've had it quite a bit recently in terms of like client will check in or drop you and say just struggling for motivation, got no motivation to go to the gym, no motivation to do anything. I'll be interested to know what you would kind of how you would play it.
So I think this is sort of goes hand in hand with what I was going to say is probably my pet peeve as well, is this, how do I word it? It's like a disillusion of what their goal is. Like someone will say, I really want, this is everything. Like I'm, like you said, like they're so motivated through the fucking roof for this one thing, and then suddenly that stops. And it's just like, okay, was that your goal then? Or is this just something that you've got in your head because you've seen something on Instagram and all of a sudden you want? Yeah. And I find that tends to be the thing, is it's like, if your motivation has gone, then that wasn't your real goal, because if it was your real goal, your discipline would carry you over to compete or to complete that task that was needed to be done. So it sort of goes hand in hand. What my pet peeve is by people that will say, oh, I really want to do this. I'd fucking die for this. This is my goal. And then 3 weeks come by and it's just like,
No checking.
No, yeah. It's like, bro, I'd give anything to be fucking massive. I'm going to nail this 4 weeks into the plan. Oh, I haven't eaten 3 meals in the last 2 days. I've missed the training session. And it's like, okay, well, you're not motivated, which means there might be something wrong in the pipeline somewhere, but more than likely, it's just that that wasn't your real goal. Like if I said to you,
if we only ever trained when we were motivated,
yeah,
how
like,
often would we fucking go and train? Like realistically, do you know what I mean?
Billy, if I turn around to you and said you have to eat 10,000 calories every single day for the next month or your mum's going to die, you'd eat 10,000 calories every single day without
That's exactly
hesitating.
what I said. That's exactly what I had someone check in over the weekend, and he has a crazy busy job. He's a surveyor. He's management, so on and so forth, right? And he said, "Oh, I just didn't have the time to do." He missed a training session or something along the lines of that, or cardio or something. And I basically said to him, I said, like, if work could have asked you to stay an extra 45 minutes at the end of your working day, you'd have done it without hesitation. You'd have done it without hesitation. I said you need to have the same kind of oomph and passion that you're showing elsewhere to what you're saying your goal is. So otherwise, as soon as like you're never going to be motivated year round. Like you're in a bubble if you think you are. Do you know what I mean? And when shit hits the fan, that's when like you need to be kind of accountable as anything with it.
Exactly, and I think that's partially what drives me so nuts about it. Is it's like people aren't honest about it,
Yeah,
and like that's the thing that really bugs
the
me.
annoying thing is for us, it's not like I'm not annoyed that you haven't gone and trained, but I'm annoyed that well, we're probably really annoyed because well, what is it that you actually want?
Yeah.
Because as long as we know what that is, we can move towards it.
Yeah.
If we don't, it's very hard to hit something when it's not standing still. So that's what would get my back up more so than the mist.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing about it is people have this illusion that like, oh, if I miss the plan, they're going to be angry or they're going to be pissed off, so I can't talk to them about it, whatever. And it's like in my head, I'd rather a client turn around to me and say, I can't achieve that because I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't
Because
want
it's like just be honest and say you don't want to, not you can't. If
Yeah.
you say you don't want to, then okay, straight off the bat, we'll change the plan to something that is far more open and achievable to plan. But if you're telling me that I'm Roddy fucking Coleman, I am never going to miss, this is be all and end all of my life. By the way, I missed 4 meals, didn't go to the gym and ate McDonald's on the way home because I didn't have time. Then it's like, so stopping off at McDonald's was more time efficient than just driving home and heating up the meal that you prepped earlier.
I mean, so for me, like I'm very big on defining expectation. That is the first thing I get clients to do and tell me. Is like, okay, you're coming to me, you're wanting to compete. Okay, perfect. You're coming to me, you're not honest about competing, but you just want to sharpen up a little bit. I will have two totally different approaches and two totally different tolerance levels for these individuals. But define what you're after, and I will hold you to that standard.
Yeah.
Okay, just as I would like to be held myself, which is pretty fucking cutthroat to be honest with you. Because I think the issue with me is I'm come across as quite light-hearted and shit all the time. I take the piss a lot, and then when people come on board, they're like, "Who the fuck is this?" But I'm like, that's how I've always been coached, you know. So I think it's so important to define your expectation, what you're looking to get. Okay, never lose sight of the end goal because there will be some weeks that shit doesn't work. But of course, and this is something that we were talking about beforehand, is like I am very bad at blaming myself. What have I not done? But you know what? I have that security now. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I understand what the fuck is going on. When I look at the data, I would generally say to people like, so for example, if I made someone's food adjustment weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, right, and then every week they're still putting on 0.7, 0.5, 0.7, 0.6, whatever. I'm like, realize that should happen for a couple weeks, 3 weeks max. But if I change your fucking food at week 20 and now we're week 32 and you're asking me for more fucking food, I'm like, motherfucker, what the fuck is going on here? Because you clearly ain't sticking to the fucking plan. I've said that, and I've said it to boys when we started a diet phase. I'm like, you've not been eating this fucking food. And so I'm having to fucking push you even harder than I want to. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take your food to an unsustainable level because you've been dicking about telling me you've been eating the food that you've not been fucking having.
So
And you put yourself into a corner, and you've also put me
Yeah.
into a corner because I need to do shit that I don't really want and feel super
I
confident doing.
say that I've got a lad actually, and he was like, he's like, I think he's at a minute off the top of my head, he's like 70 kilos or something like that. His food is like gargantuan, mate. It's a ridiculous amount, and it's to the point where I said to him on his last check-in, I was like,
Are you eating this?
like for the amount of food that you're eating and how heavy you are, like unless you're like a phenom, like I don't know what, like you're lying somewhere. We're falling short somewhere. So save me the time, save you the time, because it's not worth these macros. This food isn't worth the fucking Google sheet that it's fucking typed on. If it's not going in, it looks fantastic, yeah, but it's what's the point? I'd rather know exactly what it is that you're consuming and what you're not, and then we can fucking reverse it from like reverse engineer from there.
So you saying that is actually the reason I separated ways with my first ever client, because he was like 75 kilos or something like that. And on the plan, it ended with him being on like 6.8 thousand calories. And he was like, I'm not
like with that, it's kind of like he's chatting shit, but you just want to how ridiculously high you can get it.
Mate, literally, it was at the point every single week for about a month.
I bet he's having a right fucking. I bet he's like, I wonder if we push my food up again this
yeah, whilst he's eating 2,500 calories.
Yeah. So he was.
People
like
we're fucking stupid. People think we're fucking stupid. I'm like, did I do this for a fucking living?
Yeah.
Like it's like I looked at it every single week, and I was talking to like my mates about it, and I literally was questioning them. And I remember actually messaged Josh once at the time, and I said, "Is this even fucking possible?" Because he was adamant that he was like, "I'm not lying. I am eating everything," and I'm like, "I know you're fucking not. I fucking know you're not." And I'm going, it is fucking biologically impossible unless you have some sort of fucking disorder.
Or you're running marathons.
Yeah, he was going like that. He was going, oh,
yeah. And like some of the things he came up with originally, which really fucking knocked me because this is another thing that will drive you mad. All right. The first time I really called him out, he went, "Oh, well, I have changed jobs." And I said, "Okay, so what are you doing now then?" And he said, "Well, I'm now
sitting behind the desk."
Yeah, I'm now sitting behind a desk. No, I'm now doing construction. So I was like, okay, so you're burning more calories. So, okay, fair enough. We might have added food. You now burn 3,000 more calories a day, and that's the expense. And he was like, yeah, I also walk like 10,000 more steps a day than before. And I was like, okay. So we just need to bump the calories up then. We need to bump them up. So I gave him like a bigger bump in calories, and the next week, no weight increase. And again, I was like, okay, I must have just missed shot. My bad, bro. Like, my bad. We'll keep going. We'll keep pushing the food. And at this point, it's like 5,000, 5,500, like 6. And I'm going, mate, either something's not fucking right here, or you're not eating the food. He's like, no, I promise I'm eating the food. I promise I'm eating the food. But the problem was, even if he's like suddenly that day decided, you know what, I'm going to get all this food in, it would be fucking impossible. Like, that's not an amount of food you could suddenly start eating. So it was getting to the point where it was like, even if you decided to get on plan and follow the plan, you couldn't. And even if I then keep upping food, it makes it more impossible to get on the plan. So in my head, I was just like, just stop fucking lying. Like, just stop fucking lying. But no, literally till the fucking end date. And it wasn't until a couple months back, he messaged me and said that he was like 18 at the time. So he was a young lad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like a couple months ago he messaged me and said, look, I wasn't on plan. I wasn't eating all the food. I felt like I couldn't tell you. And I was like, mate, you can tell me fucking anything. Like, you've told me like your stool, like how your stool was that week. And you couldn't tell me that.
I always slip it in before I go like, why the fuck have you not been eating this food? It'll always be like at the end of, when I'm delving through fucking the nutrition, it's just like, oh yeah, like if you're struggling to get in any bits of this food, like even if it's like whole meal or anything like that, mate, just let me know. Then when they go, I've not been getting that meal in this, then right, you fucking lying bastard.
Yes. Yeah. You like get ahead of it, don't you? So it's like, now if I get past like 3,000, 4,000 calories with a client, I'll start saying every single check-in, every single week, I'll go, yeah, food's kind of getting high now. So if you're struggling, just let me know. Like, I'm so predisposed
Opening
now.
the door,
Yeah, I'm like, look, anyone, did you fuck up? Come in,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just tell me, like, fuck me,
Yeah.
I've been there, I've eaten that food. It's not fun, it's not easy, but don't lie about it.
Yeah. Man.
But
And then when people add food, and then
see,
people add food as well.
people,
when they shouldn't have been having it on plan.
Yeah. Like, oh, bro, I just thought, so I just had a boy start. He's lovely, mate. He's really nice. He might watch this, he might not, but I think it's really important to know because a lot of people will struggle with this. But when he started, he's like, look, my missus, she cooks with a lot of oils and stuff like that. She makes a lot of sauces. I still want to have a meal with my missus at night. And I was like, mate, I'll accommodate. I'll give you a few options for your carb sources, a few options for your protein sources. It's just going to mean you'll have to cook a big pot cook a big pot of pasta, divvy the raw weight by the cooked weight, same with the protein source, and then have the cream or the sauce separately. So you can, or rather, have the carb and the protein separately, so you can have your exact portion. And then he was like, yeah, so my missus is getting really annoyed that I can't like put oil or anything through my foods. It's like, can I not just add a little bit of oil? It's really quite bland. And I'm like, motherfucker, no.
Yeah.
I was like, for a gram of oil, you get 1 gram of fat. Okay. I guarantee you ain't having 1 gram of fat, 1 gram of oil. Yeah. You're adding likely
20 grams of shit in there.
yeah, if you think it was all like that, that's like 15, 20, yeah.
Across 2 meals. You're looking at potentially an extra what? Let's just say 40 grams. Okay, so what's 40 times fucking 9? If you're on 3,600 calories, that's 10% of your overall intake. Okay, if you're on half of that, let's say you're just fucked, mate. We've had to just murder you. Okay, if you're on 1,700 calories, which is not uncomfortable to get to. Okay, a lot of coaches get fucking all high and mighty. It's always the same ones that preach like they're at this level.
Go below, yeah.
Some people have to just fucking do it. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, you just got to suck a dick. Okay, I guarantee you boys on prep were the most I was like 2,000.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but
no comment.
2,000, yeah. You're probably ridiculous.
Yeah, 1,200 on my
list.
Yeah, 1,200. Well, there you go. And Joe's the biggest one here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like this sort of stuff catches up to you.
Yeah.
It's like the orange juices. I had a client tell me, "Oh, I've just been having
just casually drinking orange."
I was like, he's like, I've just been having orange juice, man. Just like it's zero. It's no added sugar.
It's still got sugar.
Actually, I just had a message me. He was like,
fucking what?
He's in like a just trying to put his body weight down at the minute. And he messaged me. He was like, just wondering what your stance is on fruit. And I was like,
I'm conscious of not having enough fruit.
He was like, nothing crazy, like not 12 bananas a day or something, but say I had like 1 apple and 1 banana. I was like, right.
I broke it down. I did that. I broke that down and said, look, a banana is like 25 grams of carb at least. And apples about the same.
Yeah.
Like, there's almost 200 calories right there for you.
Yeah.
250 even.
Yeah. So you're fucking.
I literally had that conversation a couple of weeks ago with a client.
Yeah.
So when I was on prep and I was like fucked, and I was working in construction, literally I'd sit there and I'll be like struggling to get up, and then someone someone turned around to me and be like, for fuck's sake, just eat a banana.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
And I'm like, I can't, and they're like, but it's fucking healthy. I'm like, but it's also 25 grams of carbs. Like, that's a quarter of my daily allowance. I was like,
it just shows like how the lack of.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say it's gonna sound like a dick, but you see loads of fat people that eat a lot of a lot of fruit. Okay, I don't know why I'm fat. I eat loads of fucking fruit. I'm like, how much fucking? Because you eat by the fucking punnet, you fat cunt. Look at the fucking profile, man. Calories ain't free, mate. Nothing in life is fucking free. Especially food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, man, but like, honestly, you see, I hear all the time that I'm silver 8, bro, but I'm eating loads of fruit.
Yeah.
What you having? He's like, I probably have like 10 bananas a day. He doesn't actually. I'm obviously being taking a piss, but it's like, I'll just have juices. I'm like, okay, And there's ways you can work around it, man. You know, like
Oh,
berries are amazing. Instead of having your berries are fucking amazing. Raspberries are the best, man.
strawberries got to be the king for the fucking volume you get out of them.
Oh, it's like
I fucking
14
hate
calories for
strawberries.
100 grams
Really?
of strawberries. Something like that.
I never program anyone strawberries because I don't like them myself. So
Oh,
I just assume no one else likes them. So I never give anyone I'll usually just program like 100 grams of berries and they can fucking make do.
Yeah,
They're gonna be 6 grams of carb, 9 grams of carb, or I don't know what that is.
So
Same with like a pear. Someone asked for a pear. I was like, I'm disgusted. I was like, fuck off. They're like a mushy apple.
Yeah. Did we say like? Did we speak about like when someone just doesn't check in and doesn't let you know that they're not checking in, and then you chase?
What do you guys do as a coach when someone checks in late? Do you still give them the full video feedback? Do you give them a voice note? Do you give them a text?
Depends how late.
Yeah.
Like, so the reason I say that is because the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I've had 4 people who have just fucking decided to shit the bed. And I mean, like, they've just shit the bed, but I am chasing them up. So I'm not, like, my check-in system is very easy. I have a soft set date, so you'll either be a Friday, Saturday, or a Sunday. But I'll say, look, depending on what your plans are, depending on what you've got going on, you can check in Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Like, it's up to you. Like, if you want to check in early, check in late, it's up to you. But you know what your soft day is. You know when I'm expecting it. You know where I'm going to be working. So, aim for that. And I'll send a reminder to the group chat on a Friday and be like, look, you can start from today. And then I'll get my people of the softs checking on that. And then the Saturday, again, I'll be like, don't forget, obviously, today. So in general, I'll send 3 messages, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just as a reminder, just as a courtesy of like, look, in case you have shit the bed and woke up late and you've forgotten, then yeah, here you go. But there's 4 blokes that for the last 3 weeks, I have had to message individually on the Sunday and be like, where's your check-in?
It's so demotivating.
Yeah. So the worst thing about it is one of them in particular still hasn't replied to my message today. And I'm like, you're just not. Yeah.
But had his partner still check in.
Yeah. I literally, I've said to them like,
he takes her check-in pictures.
That's killed me.
You know, like, come on, man. Like, and then it gets to the point where it's like, I'm giving you all the respect in the world right now. Like, I'm not asking for much back. That's a real like lack of respect. And then it gets to the point where it's like, late payment is another one. Like, in a beast of its own. Yeah, I do. For some I don't, because mad thing, sad thing. But it's just a massive annoyance, man. A massive annoyance.
Do you take it personally when someone doesn't check in on time? Because I take it so personally. Like, these last few weeks, I've taken it so personally that these guys have just dropped off.
I used to take it a lot more personally, okay, but now again I define it. I said, look, on their walkthrough video, I say, look, I will chase you up once. Thereafter, it is entirely up to you to check in. Because I have a team of very productive individuals. Everyone is an adult here. You've came to me for a reason. I expect you to act in accordance. I let's say it as fucking plainly as that. I'm like, I will give you 110, but you have to show me that you're willing to meet in the middle. I don't ask much, so, but I will only chase you up once. Same with payment. I was like, if you're not checking in, okay, for weeks on end, best believe that I'm not chasing you up, okay? Have the decency to contact me and we'll get everything sorted. You can cancel everything on your end. Everything is done by GoCarless, which is so much easier, less hassle, especially trying to juggle a decent amount of people. So yeah, like I'm pretty cutthroat with that sort of stuff. I'm like, value my time. I was like, I'm not a mug. I was like, you've came to me for a reason. I've got I coach a fair few people now. Have that respect.
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't show up late to a meeting. It's the same shit, man.
I've now got to the point where, like I said, I took it very personally, but now I'm in that respect. Well, like you said, I'm at the point where those people now, I will just message on the Sunday and say, look, you've not checked in, you won't get a response until next week.
Yeah.
I just like if you're not going to check in, then I'm not going to show you the time of day as well
No,
because I've
I'll,
got
I'll still get their feedback over to them. If they check in late, I'll still get feedback over. Okay. I'm a bit of a fucking pushover at times, and I'll still will still sometimes send them a video, even though I shouldn't. I'll still have decency because I want to withhold a good level of service. Okay, I want to. I'm fitness fucking professional, man. You know, I want to be good, but I will always say, I was like, if you're late again, mate, I was like, I'll text you or I'll send you a voice note. You know, and I was even gonna put a video out to all my clients, say, look, if you're late, voice notes all that's happening because my time is precious and the team's only growing. I want to still dedicate that time. So if you want to have the best from me, come prepped. You know, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's because the only reason I've done that now is because for the last like 3-4 weeks, I've been sat at my computer for like 3 hours waiting, and like half of my
Majority, live, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's pissed me off is I'll sit there waiting, like doing my nutting, like I'm literally dedicating aimless dead time at this point to get you a response, and then I won't get a text message back until Wednesday going, sorry, I was busy.
Do you know what the best one is? And this is even more annoying, but they'll send their check-in pictures at like 3-4 o'clock and go, oh, sorry, mate, forgot to send these over this morning. Or sorry, Bill, forgot to send these this morning. I'm like, how did you forget to send the pictures off you've like that's the fucking easy part. Like
I've done that once. I have done that
once. Yeah, once.
Yeah, I've done that once.
Once.
Yeah.
And then shit starts to get really fucking thin. Do you know what I mean? It does start to wear, but
but I think for us, I don't want people to like misinterpret this, but like or this video of us having a fucking bitch in a moan. It's like we're also devoted to our fucking job.
Yeah.
Okay, I've had clients phone me 11 o'clock at night. I've had clients phone me. I've been there and done things for clients that is well out with my fucking job description. You know, I've helped them personally. I've helped them financially. I've done so much for people, and like honestly, I don't learn my lesson because a couple of people that I've worked with have like things have happened, things have transpired. I feel like there's maybe I've done given them 110, so I don't really want to give any examples on here, but I can think of a few, and I've been left looking like a fucking mug, even though I bent over backwards for people. Okay, and God's honest truth, I put everything to this. This is my baby. It'll be the same with you boys, but it's like for us to do and get the most out of you, there has to be that middle ground. You know, think of every positive working relationship that you've ever had with management, where you've seen progressions in career, where you've seen progressions in enjoyment. There's like been a key figure there, a key member of staff, someone that brought you along, taking care of you, and it's no different, man. You know, so I hate to refer to this as like a job. I hate to say, you know, but like it's the same. It's the same kind of shit, man. It's like, you know, for me to do everything, like best believe you're going to get a very personable tailor. You're going to get everything. You're going to hopefully get like a friendship out of it, because I always try and do that. But there has to be that respect, because if as soon as I get a sense of bullshit, I'm fucking calling you out on it.
Yeah.
And I can get the best out of people. I know I can, but there has to be that middle ground. Yeah. You know, so I don't want people to see this like, oh, the coach are having a bitch in a fucking moan. It's like, if you feel like we're having a bitch in a moan, then you shouldn't be fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Because it says something.
Yeah.
We've been discussing that, you know, potentially being late to check-ins, potentially forgot to send pictures, but across a fucking 4 or 5 year window, man. I mean, come on to fuck.
Yeah.
We'll do this monthly. We'll do this weekly.
Yeah.
You know, don't pay for something that you're not invested in, because this is the biggest waste of money that you will ever embark on if you're not invested in it. It can be the biggest and best investment, you know, from a mental health perspective, from a physique perspective, even from a financial perspective. You know, I've had clients come to me on the fence about starting their own business. I can think of one on the fence about starting a business. And I said, look, this is how we're going to do it. This is what you're going to do. And now she's like going and doing her own fucking business. And it makes me so fucking proud to see that. That like that this job can kind of seep into other areas of people's lives. Because dude, we're not just fucking fitness coaches. Like I deem myself almost like a life coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I genuinely, nothing makes me happier than seeing my team do well.
Yeah.
And people cannot for the life of them grasp that if you're doing well outside of the gym, you're going to do fucking amazing inside the gym. You know, this has been your best fucking off season. Okay, my best off season was when I quit my job and did this full time.
Yeah.
You're now seeing the difference that that's having.
Yeah.
You not agree? You know, it's almost
Yeah,
like
very
a
true.
throws because you know, and I guarantee there's encouragement from Josh. There's encouragement from Tom.
Yeah.
You know, everyone was trying to make you do that, and now you're sitting back thinking, "Fuck, this
Yeah.
is fucking it. I get to this for fucking full time. I get trained when I want, within reason. I work with some fucking outstanding people. This is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, we're so fortunate.
Yeah.
At the same time, like you know, at the same time, we got to protect and facilitate and cultivate.
Yeah.
No,
100%.
it's like doing this. Like you really do see polar ends of the spectrum from people. Like you said, like I have eaten absolute shit in occasions. Like when I first started, like I gave people plans for free. I literally worked that plus my normal job,
Yeah.
working 7 days a week and responding to people 24 hours, fucking all the fucking days of the week. I'd leave them like people be like, oh, I can't afford to pay you this month. And I'd be like, it's fine. Just either make up for it later or just miss this one because I wanted to have that people still around. Like
I let some guy get coached for free for fucking nearly 5 months because he was struggling.
Yeah.
And
Like,
even mentally, and I was like, mate, don't worry.
yeah.
And do you know what? I will say it here. This motherfucker, after I've just bought a house, has audacity to message me asking if I could donate, if I could make a charitable donation to his club after he just like left me and I've just bought a fucking house. And I'm like, dude, you're fucking
Some people, man, isn't
you're over six, you're over like almost £700 in debt. I was like, and I sound like I couldn't say this, but like this is a situation I was talking about earlier. Is like I've bent over backwards for people, and you see people's true colors at times.
Yeah.
People know fine well that this shit. I mean, it's
People,
like I laughed. I was like, it was a low blow, man.
yeah.
I think that's the thing is people just again it comes to that illusion of fitness of it's like, oh, if you're coaching or you're doing XYZ, you're making X amount of thousand a month, you're doing this, you're doing that, like you are so like you are just successful because you're living the dream. And it's like, oh, and then you're picking on the people that miss a check-in here or there. And it's like, well, no, we're picking on the people that are spending money, missing consistently, are choosing to make those misses. Where in my head, it's like, I literally live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm bleeding money in some months because I love to do this so much. So when you just blatantly lie to me or don't pay for something or whatever, like you can call me out all you want, but I know at the end of the month, like I'll more than likely be in my overdraft at the end of the month because I choose to do this because I love to do this. But people sit there and then they'll say to me, oh, I don't have the time or they don't have the money or I can't afford to do this or I can't afford to do that. And I'm like, motherfucker, I literally can't afford my shopping some week. Like,
like I remember when I started coaching, man, like, you know, this was just out of uni, man, like barely making any money. And it was a sacrifice I had to make, man. You know, like a big fucking sacrifice, man. It was, and at the time I didn't even think it was that hard, but looking back, I'm like, fuck me, man. You know, my sister's at uni and she's telling me she has £200 to last her for the full fucking month. And that fucking broke my heart. I was like, Lucy, how the fuck are you going to do that, man? Like, I know she's a student, but I'm like,
Yeah.
how can you do that, man? And I was like, if you need anything, I'm here. But like, it's, you know, my point is that I wouldn't have been too different to that.
Yeah.
After obviously my bills, and it's like I still made time. Yes, I wasn't fucking smashing insulin and fucking smashing growth with a hole in your pocket.
Yeah.
But like, it was so valuable to me that, and I remember saying this to Joanna when we were struggling. I was like, I can't give up coaching, and it fucking pays off, man. Because going back to the initial point is like I breathe this, and I want to have people that breathe it. You know, because those are the people that are going to push you forward in life, man. They're going to elevate us as coaches. They're going to make us look good. Yeah. So yeah, man. Like I feel like it's fair that we get this because we're so fucking passionate about it, man. Like the end of this.
More prosecco, man. More prosecco at the door.
Yeah. Wait, enough.
This Joe.
Think if anyone listens to this and sees it as kind of like a dig towards clients or how people operate, and like they got the complete wrong end of the stick. It's actually like us wanting to get the most from you. So please stop doing this. Not, oh, you're doing this. Ha ha ha. That's what you're doing. It's stop doing that shit because we need you and want you to be progressing up to here and not fucking going like ebb and flow type things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. I hope no one does watch this and go, oh, what a bunch of cunts just digging out how people are operating, because it might look like that, but if you are operating like that, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, you're doing it wrong. And if you do get fucking butthurt about it, then yeah, you need to look at your shit properly.
100%, mate. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think that's a good way to finish it, man.
Yeah, man.
That was a good one. This is a fucking belter, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the
I'm
fucking...
going to send it out to every client I have as well.
No, I won't. I mean,
I'm joking.
Yeah, feedback this week is just the link to the podcast.
If the shoe fits, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys get butthurt over this, then you know you're one of them.
We all lose 50 clients. Yeah.
I was going to say, watch you drop fucking 20% of my client base.
Yeah, man.
No, so
good belter. Right,
catch
boys.
up again soon,
I've got a
guys.
call with my client. I'll let you have a call with my clients in 2 minutes. So,
right, go.
I can nail the timing. All right, catch you on, boys.
Take care.
Say those later. Peace.
Peace.